Hey, Shalawam, Shalawam. I'll get into it momentarily. Alright. Shalawam, Shalawam. My brothers and sisters come up in here. We gotta speak on it. Okay. Oh, man. Do do do. 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 Do 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 do. Shalawam, Shalawam. His brothers come in. Shalawam. All right, we'll begin in about a minute. We'll begin in about a minute. First and foremost, Barak Yahawah, Barak Yahawashi, Barak Yahawah, Barak Yahawashi, Barak Yahawah, Barak Yahawashi, Barak Yahawah, Barak Yahawashi. Let the palo burn. Okay. All right, facing the east towards Jerusalem, all praises be to Yahawah, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi, Ba'ashem, Rakah. All right, facing the east towards Jerusalem, all praises be to Yahawah, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi, Ba'ashem, Rakah. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of the great millstone, which rule well and teach well and sincerity taught us this truth. And Shalawam to the Lord's hopeful elect, 144,000 men, as well as 1/3 men, women, and children, maintaining themselves, keeping the laws, commandments, and statutes to the best of their abilities. It's your brother Yeramya Kazak, back with hopefully another edifying lesson through the spirit and power of Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Those are the true names of the Heavenly Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Yahawah means He is, He exists. All right. Yahawashi means He saves, He delivers. Let me blow this Palo Santo out. Okay. And Yahawashi is who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, the end of the day. And Rakakadash is the Holy Spirit, Spirit holy. Rakah meaning spirit, Kadash meaning holy. All right, at the end of the day, those are the correct names. According to Proverbs 30:4, according to Exodus 3:14-15, according to Matthew 1:21, according to Acts 4:12, true names that you have to call upon under heaven, which we have for salvation. Okay, at the end of the day. So Yahawah, Yahawashi, all right, Bahashem, Rakakadash. At the end of the day. Now this lesson will be entitled But Hurt Camps, or But Hurt Groups that have formed and joined together basically with the idea to mock and scoff Great Millstone and to rebuke Great Millstone. Okay? Which these brothers were at one point in time a part of Great Millstone. But things happen and they might have separated and left or whatever it may be. And now they basically are holding a certain vendetta against the elders. All right. Oh, Shalawam, to the brother Ari Allah. I just saw your message. Are you good? It's just a little confusion because everything I'm about to say is basically what the elder said, and we teach what is taught. All right, because he coming straight from the scriptures. So it's no confusion with the one body that's joined together. So first and foremost, let's get that understood. All right, that we have to be joined together. Let's go to 1 Corinthians. And pretty much went into this last night at work, but we'll touch on it again just because it pertains to the lesson. All right, so 1 Corinthians, the 12th chapter, starting, and let's start at the top, man. All right. What's going on in the comment board? A new king. All right, for this, I want to put the level of moderators to strict. Okay. So if he can't get it, if he keeps talking, then get him out of here. All right. What'd you say? Religion ended 70 AD. Nothing you did or going. I get you out of here myself. Okay. We're not here for that. And you look like damn Peter Griffin. Get your bitch out of here. And Peter Griffin was a Jake, if we go into his lineage. But this dude ain't no Jake. All right. Yeah, get him up out of here. All right. This is a more serious lesson. Any scoffers and mockers, if after 2 admonitions, they can't listen, they want to argue in the comments, get them out of here. All right. I ask my moderators to keep it like that. Okay. At the end of the day, because we ain't playing around. Hey, he said, yeah, release the blockama. Release the blockama. So 1 Corinthians 12. And matter of fact, I'll play a little bit of what Elder Yasharahla said pertaining to the matter. I'll start it around, let me see.
And they act as if, and I just wanted to do a quick video, honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders at Great Millstone,
Right
who rule well. Peace and salutations, as always, to the elect. And I just wanted to do a quick video, looking at a few videos, and just pretty much in my time in this truth period, there's always been points where you had particular individuals who, were in Great Millstone, or were kicked out or either left. And what happens is they form alliances, and they act as if it's being formed under the guise of teaching the truth. All right, but at the forefront of their ministry is hidden offense. All right, and it pokes itself out here and there, under the guise of open rebuke videos, side shots, mocking what brothers teach. But, ultimately the Holy Spirit sees these individuals and they're operating in offense. They're hurt. They're not fully over what happened and they haven't moved on. So what they do is they watch the videos of the former camp that they were in, or watch the video of someone who they don't like, and they form these little groups where they're just sending each other, clips, all right, of Great Millstone. And then these are the same individuals that'll go out and give double honors, but, at any opportunity, they'll show you how they really feel, and it'll come out. All right.
Exactly.
And
all right, and that's what we're seeing. Okay. And hey, brothers on here, we dealt with that as well. With certain brothers under the name of Amawan, certain brothers under the name of Prince the Israelite, G Will, certain individuals that have a certain vendetta against us, right? Who at some point in time might have been in our circle, right? A certain female, a female's not really a part of this truth, but a shield of faith, right? Who was in the lessons and things of that nature, but was found out to be a wicked ass demon. So these demons are found out. Brothers are sifted. Some brothers are wicked. Some brothers are not wicked. It might just be a misunderstanding. All right. And brothers are reconciled back into the body. Okay. Or they may just do their own thing, but they teach the proper doctrine and they don't hold no bitterness. That can happen as well. But what we're speaking on is brothers holding bitterness. Okay. So let's get the word bitter. because that's what these guys are on. Bitter, having a sharp, pungent taste or smell, not sweet, of people or their feelings or behavior, angry, hurt, or resentful because of one's bad experiences, or a smell of unjust treatment. They feel like they have been treated unjustly. When the London seer guy, you put your hands on another brother. Okay? So how were you treated unfairly? You was supposed to get kicked out, and then you went and said that you left, right? And I'm not going to talk into that too much because I don't know the whole situation, and that would be meddling into other men's matters, right? So I'm going to leave it alone, okay? But in my common sense, in my discernment, in my logic, because I've dealt with certain brothers that are standing up for that brother, and I didn't know that these brothers had a certain vendetta against the elders. I'm seeing all these brothers join hand in hand with him and stand up against the elders and rebuke the elders. And I'm seeing that bullshit. Now I'm not appreciating it. Okay? So let's get these precepts the brother dropped real quick. And then we'll go back to 1 Corinthians, the 12th chapter. Because all we gonna bring out is edification out of every situation. We're not here for the drama, for the back and forth. We're not here for that. Okay, Proverbs 6, starting at 16, going to 19. These 6 things doeth Yahawah hate, yea, 7 are an abomination unto him: a proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood, and heart that deviseth wicked imaginations, feet that be swift and run into mischief, a false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren. All right, as I said in camp, on Monday, right? We are almost out of here, and you brothers want to divide and break down and, cause division amongst the brotherhood. Okay? And what did I say? I said, you obviously don't want to be a part of the body because you're fighting against the body. You're fighting against situations and things of that nature that was handled properly, but you're bucking up and you're going against it, man. Okay? And it's none of your damn business. All right? So let's go back to 1 Corinthians, the 12th chapter. And starting at the top. Now concerning spiritual gifts, brethren, I would not have you ignorant. Ye know that you were Gentiles carried away into those dumb idols, even as you were led. How are these men handling certain situations? As Edomites, as Gentiles, and a Gentile mind. To keep it honest, a nigger spirit, man. You're approaching things with a nigger mindset. A petty, bitter mindset. You're hurt. Your butt hurt. You're not approaching things as a man. You're approaching things as a little boy. You're supposed to, when I was a child, I did childish things. When I became a man, right, I put away childish things. Let's get that. Because you're not showing any growth in all of your years in the truth. Okay, this is 1 Corinthians 13 and 11. When I was a child, I spake as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. I had a brother come on my post today. A brother that joined in this whole fiasco, because that's what it is. It's a failure, a coup to go at the elders and apostles and bishops. That's what it is. I had a brother come on my post, and I'm going to go get it. I'm going to go get it, right? And this brother did a whole 2-hour video on the whole situation. And what did he say to me? He said, Shalawam Malak, I'm not sure if you know or knew, but the elder brother, Dawadah, is an elder himself, 16 years, and ex-head of Great Millstone, UK. Now, I might not agree with everything he might have said, but I think you should take your own advice on not meddling in other men's matters and let an elder rebuke another elder. Also, I think you might need to go over what it means to not rebuke an elder. Because if your understanding is you can't correct an elder at all, then your understanding is wrong. I respect you're not scared to speak your mind at times, but you consider your own advice. Shalawam wa Barak Yam Malak. Okay, I'm speaking in general terms, and yeah, going into the situation, but I didn't even the guy, London Seer. That's who I'm speaking towards. That guy doesn't come off as an elder at all. All right, now if he is, then okay, Salakia on my part, but the dude is honestly immature, bitter, insecure, and I can't see that he's an elder. I never heard that he was an elder. Okay, at the end of the day. Right? Now, what I replied to, and I'm going to read it. This goes out to your entire clique because I saw multiple guys of this certain butthurt group, because that's what it is, joining up and rebuking Elder Yasharahla, rebuking Elder Manatazakba, rebuking a lot of elders. This is what I'm seeing from a lot of you guys. You are joining hand in hand and trying to rebuke elders that teach us, that help us, man. Okay? This goes out to your entire clique. I'm talking about servant of the throne. I'm talking about New Jerusalem. A lot of these brothers, man. I didn't know you guys had a vendetta against certain great millstone elders. Or something. That's what it looks like lately. Like servants of the throne, New Jerusalem, shadow of thy wings. All these guys had something to say in this guy's comment board. They were supporting this guy, London Seer. They were supporting this guy and him twisting and misusing certain scriptures to try to rebuke Elder Manatazakba. Alright? Cursed be the man that useth the word of Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi deceitfully. Okay? Because you have a vendetta and you have a bitterness towards the elders. All these brothers and more coming out of nowhere talking shit. I dealt with you brothers based off of y'all keeping the doctrine, but unknowing your issues. I was dealing with these brothers. I stumbled upon these brothers because, hey, they calling on Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi. They're giving double honors. So I'm like, okay, y'all giving double honors. Okay, I'm listening to them. Okay, y'all got the doctrine. Y'all preaching correct. But, hey, as Elder Yasharahla said in that video, they were waiting for a position to strike. They were waiting for a time. And then you see their butt hurtness when that time is delivered. Right? So we're seeing it now. And I'm going to get to their videos. I'm not going to play any of them, but I'm going to show you certain channels where all these brothers have made videos. All right. I didn't know their issues. I took GMS South Carolina, Elder Manatazakba as an elder, being one of the first people I listened to. Because where am I from? I'm from South Carolina, North Carolina. I was born in South Carolina, raised in North Carolina, South Carolina area. All right. So he sounds like me. He sounds like my people. All right. That brother that reads for him, that sound like my family members. You know what I'm saying? I relate. That's who I listen to. I listen to him and I listen to Elder Apostle Gabar. My first year in this truth, that's who I was listening to every day, man. All right, every lesson they dropped, I was on it. Okay, so that's my spiritual father. All right, I took him as an elder, being one of the first people I listened to in this truth, being that I'm actually from South Carolina and has taught me, so he is a spiritual father of mine. If that dude, London Seer, is an elder, I can't tell. He seems real effeminate and soft, holding grudges. And what's Leviticus 19 and 18 say? All right, and we're going to get you brothers' precepts. And coming off very bitter. I'm not meddling in anything. This is a general rebuke for any of you brothers that don't understand basic order. I could have spoke on how he put his hands on another brother, but I don't know the situation. So I didn't. Now that could have been meddling. I spoke on what I felt was wrong in a general standpoint to edify other brothers. That's why I gave the analogy of me being in the military, E1 to E5. When I was E1, I couldn't check no one that was an E5. When I was E5, I couldn't check no one that's an E9, E8, right? So you check within your ranks. You check within your years. And if you do it, you got to be correct, all right? You don't go at no elder. You don't go at elder brothers. But a lot of you brothers, that's why I said it's general. I said it's what? For the whole clique. This goes out for your entire clique, because your entire clique seems like they can rebuke elders now. That's the disorder that has been taught over with you guys. And as Elder Menatazabak call y'all, your call-alites. Y'all all under this guy and is standing under him and doing the wickedness that he does. Okay? I spoke on what I felt was wrong in a general standpoint to edify other brothers coming up, knowing not to do this because it's weak and it's distracting us from the real enemy, Esau. By you guys going at one another, you are distracting from real issues, man. Pakistan and India, all right? Trump and China getting back together. These issues coming out together. Trump actually saying out of his mouth, it's going to be peace and safety, right? If y'all want to go at elders and things of that nature, all right? I know you and a lot of those brothers have edified me before, and I believe that y'all need to focus back on edifying the sheep and away from BS politics and vendettas. All right, Shalawam, Malak, Yahawashi, Yahawashi, Barak. Okay, at the end of the day. Because if you can't discern that this is a demon, a presumptuous demon that's jumping on brothers, then you gotta really fast and pray about it, man. All right. Now, I'm gonna go to one brother's page. I'm gonna go to two brothers' page. All right, that call themselves rebuking the elders. This brother, servants of the throne. Now, this brother ain't produced no video, no actual sit down or nothing. Right? He only produced like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of these where he actually sits back and thinks about it, you know. And then everything else is just live this, live that, live this, live that. Okay? And he does go out on the corners, most definitely. Now, look, if you look at these videos, hour here, 58 here, hour 36, 58, 59, 114, 59, 58, right? 107, 56, 101, 152. Ooh, 152. I actually watched that one. All right, 1 hour, 114, 38, 56, 47, 45, 50, right? We're going to get to the point. Now, look at this. 2 hours on your open rebuke, remnant saved, and Elder Menatazabak. So, all your street lessons, you was hour here, hour there. But when it comes to rebuking some real brothers that do works, things of that nature, oh, you put 2 hours into it, buddy. Oh, you put all your energy into getting at a fellow brother, a fellow Israelite. And look at the views, too. This how you could tell it's Satan, man. Your views is like, yeah, 100 here, 100 there. But when it comes to getting at another brother, tearing your fellow brother down, disrupting, sowing discord among brethren, you almost got 300 views. Okay? Y'all can't realize Satan is at the head of this? He's at the head of this dog. He's at the head of this snake. He wants you to fight one another. All right? And then another brother, man. New Jerusalem. Let's get that brother. Dang, what's his full page? I gotta go find it real quick. Okay, this brother right here. Heavy spiritual matters, putting hands on men. He said he got punched and things of that nature. And he didn't like the way that the elders had handled the situation. But he admits in the video that he was wrong in the whole situation. So if you wrong, okay, then why are you complaining about it? If you was wrong and a brother put his hands on you, you know, hey, it is what it is. Okay? Now, I don't agree with a brother ever putting hands on another brother, but hey, sometimes things do happen. As Elder Apostle Tahar said, he put his hands on a brother before. You know, hey, we are brothers, man. The scriptures, one scripture does talk about a man deserves a smack. All right? You know, certain times now, hey, I don't encourage brothers getting carnal with brothers, but in the heat of the moment, hey, some brothers do need to get hands laid on them. Okay? And he admitted in this video where he was trying to rebuke the elders, that he got hands laid on him and he was off in the matter because he had went at the brother incorrectly. So I don't even see what's the point to even make a video about it if you know you was wrong, but you trying to use it as ammo to attack the elders on how they handle the situation, but you was wrong in the situation on why a brother punched you in the face. All right? Sometimes you get smacked in the face and you know you deserve that shit. Just be honest, man. You deserved it. All right? Now let's go back to 1 Corinthians, the 12th chapter. Just showing that as evidence of certain brothers that are in the same clique, because these brothers are clicked up. All right, as Elder Yasharahla said, going back to his video, it's certain men that are clicked up that have a certain vendetta against elders and brothers of their camps.
You're hurt, you're mad, you're offended, and operating in offense under the guise of I'm doing the work. Okay, you could be held accountable for that. Okay, this is not me speaking as your enemy. This is me speaking to you. Period. Because it's not a good look. And I know you guys. I know the offense. You don't think I've ever felt offense? You don't think we've felt offense? You don't think we've, not agreed with certain decisions and things? We've all been through that.
It happens.
You see? But the key is to apply Yahawashi. And sometimes you'll learn that maybe the Lord was dealing with me for this to get out of me. Maybe the Lord was dealing with anything you go through in this truth. You got to make sure you're looking for the lesson the Lord has given you, and it doesn't always come.
Let him finish that point.
Given you, and it doesn't always come in one day. Sometimes you have to keep laboring, and you'll be justified, rectified, or the Lord will give you understanding of what He wanted you to go through that for.
Yes. Yes. All right, so let's get a scripture on that, man. Because, hey, if you ain't never felt that, if you ain't never been, what did it say, put out to the doghouse or whatever, got rebuked, got rejected, got kicked out or whatever it may be for a purpose, got reproved, all right? These things are to better you. It's for you to check yourself. It's for you to examine yourself. The way that you respond and react to these situations is the most important thing. It's the most important thing because that's your refinement moment. All right, this is 2 Corinthians 7 and 10. For godly sorrow worketh repentance to salvation, not to be repented of, but the sorrow of the world worketh death. All right. So we have to what? We have to go through certain things. We may be rejected of the brotherhood for a time period. What's that mean? You supposed to stop doing the works? The brothers kicked me out, so that mean I don't got to do the works? No. Regardless, do you do this for men or do you do this for Yahawah Hashem Yahawashi? You gonna stop doing the work just because brothers told you not to come to camp? You're a weak man. It's being shown through your actions, through your characteristics. Regardless what happens, I don't care, bro. When I lost my grandfather, right, who was like a father to me, right? What did I do? I took like 2 days off. I cried, I moaned, I drunk. You know what I'm saying? Because, hey, you take wine, take alcohol for your pain, etc., etc. As the scriptures say, I applied the scriptures. But then I came right back and I dropped the lesson about it, right? On how to go through losing people in this truth. Because we're going to go through losing loved ones, right? They might have not been in the truth, but we loved them. They was a big part of our life. That's going to happen to brothers. So you got to apply the scriptures all the time. This dude, London Seer, and Servants of the Throne, and New Jerusalem, and, all you other guys that are clicked up, okay? You sitting over there being mad at other brothers and rebuking these brothers, etc., etc. When, look at how David felt. Are you ever applying that to your life? Okay? Look at how Joseph felt. Are you ever applying that to your life? You think you a brand new story? No, these stories have happened many times. It's nothing brand new, Ak. When none of us are brand new. Let's get down to Ecclesiastes, man. Nothing is new under this sun. Ecclesiastes 3 and 15. That which have been is now, and that which is to be have already been, and power requireth that which is past. Going to the first chapter. Because ain't none of this brand new. The thing that have been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun. You think that just because this is happening to you, it's never happened to anybody else before. Right? No, bro, you're not fucking special. This is what you got to get through your thick skull. You're not special, Jake. You're an unclean vessel. Nah, man, I'm gonna raise up. I'm gonna be the greatest in Israel. No, you're not. No, you're not, man. I don't know what you think you are, but you're not. Okay? That's why we have to get in where we fit in. Into the body. Let's go to Isaiah, 64th chapter. These brothers, you brothers are caught up and lifted up in pride. Isaiah 64:6. But we are all as an unclean thing, and all our righteousness are as filthy rags, and we all do fade as a leaf, and our iniquities like the wind have taken us away. We all are in the same boat, the same lot, in that sense of being unclean, being in wicked flesh, but you esteeming yourself higher than other men. If a brother could, real quick on the comment board, get that for me. Don't esteem yourself higher than other men. Don't think yourself higher than other men. All right? Going back to 1 Corinthians, the 12th chapter. And verse 3. Matter of fact, verse 2 again. Ye know that ye were Gentiles, carried away unto these dumb idols, even as you were led. If you are still thinking in a Gentile type of mind, a Nigga type of mind, a petty, bitter type of mindset, then you are incorrect. You are handling situations with no accountability. You're not even examining yourself. Hey, I might have been incorrect. I might have been wrong. I might have handled the situation wrong. All right, maybe I should listen to what the brothers are saying, the elders are saying. Okay? Wherefore I give you to understand that no man speaking by the spirit of power calleth Yahawashi accursed. And no man can say that Yahawashi is the master, but by the Holy Spirit. Now there are diversities of gifts, but the same Spirit. And there are differences of administrations, but the same master. And there are diversities of operations, but it is the same power which worketh all in all. But the manifestation of the Spirit is given to every man to profit withal. We have different offices. We have different positions. All right? You mad at the elder down in South Carolina rebuking and how he handles the situation when that may be his certain office. That's not your office. Your office may be more of a minister, more of herbs, more of healing, things of that nature. All right? Why are you trying to tell another man how to handle his office when that's not your office? This is Romans 12:3. For I say, through the grace given unto me, to every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think, but to think soberly according as power have dealt to every man the measure of faith. That right there prevents you from ever getting in a high-minded type of mindset. Oh, I'm better than this brother. Or getting in a competition type of mindset. That's incorrect. We're never in competition with one another. What a brother brings, I can't bring. What I bring, a brother ain't got that office. We have different positions. Some brother may be well-rounded and can bring all of that. That's his measure of faith. We all have different positions, man. Don't try to be another brother. That's a worldly type of mindset. You want to do like this because you see this brother being like that. Okay? And that spirit may jump on you. So you want to, hey, you see this brother doing this, etc., etc. But no, you gotta, we take and we learn from elders that we listen to a lot. Okay, we're gonna learn from them, but still, at the end of the day, you gotta find yourself, and you gotta find your gift, and you gotta find yourself in this ministry. Okay, at the end of the day, remember that. Don't try to be a copycat Israelite. I remember me and the brother Montezabak did those lessons. That damn near 2 years ago, man. Don't be no copycat Israelite. All right? We got a brother Kawam. I remember the brother was a copycat Israelite, man. Not to jump on the brother, but the brother was a copycat Israelite. I couldn't tell if that brother, I thought that brother was Manatazakbach sometimes, the way he was acting, the way he was, but he broke that spirit and he left that alone. But the brother admired the brother so much that he was damn near being, exactly just like the brother. But I'm telling brothers, don't do that. Now the brother has found his own gift. He's a precept king. That brother's quick with the precepts. He's found his gift. That's his gift in the ministry. That's his office. And that's what we was telling the brother to get in the beginning, man. Find your office. Don't try to be another man's office, right? Philippians 2:3 from the brother Yanasha. Let nothing be done. Oh, good one. Let nothing be done through strife or vain glory, but in lowliness of mind, let each esteem other better than themselves. This is how we supposed to act, man. Hey, that was a beautiful lesson. Hey, I see you over there. Hey, good. Thank you for bringing that out. I didn't know that. Thank you for sharing this video. Thank you for, that's why we got a group chat, man, and we share amongst each other. We bring things out. Brothers can use these things to do lessons. We help one another, man. That's how it's supposed to be. There ain't supposed to be no hate amongst the brotherhood. What is that when in the body? When the body hates, that's like I say all the time, autoimmune deficiency disease. Your body is eating itself. Or cancerous cells. You have these type of cells that are destroying the body. What does that eventually do to a body? It destroys the body until the body is unalived. If you have cancerous cells in your body, you have to destroy those cells. Get rid of those cells. How do you do that? By fasting, by sifting, by cleaning, by purging. And what does that mean? Yahawashi purges, he sifts. Let's get Ezekiel 20:38. Everything, the body is a mastery. It's a masterpiece. The way that Yahawashi set it up. Okay? Somebody get James out of here. We're not doing that. All right? This is more of a serious lesson. I'm not going back and forth with scoffers or mockers. I see you calling on the name of Yeshua. You talking about white Gentiles. Get out of here, man. Okay? Get out of here. Somebody get them out of here. The water. All right? Ezekiel 20:38. And I will purge out from among you the rebels and them that transgress against me. I will bring them forth out of the country where they sojourn, and they shall not enter into the land of Israel, and ye shall know that I am Yahawah. So purge, cleaning, sifting. Let's get that word purge, because this is very important, man. You do not want to be in that lot. To purify, select, polish, choose, purge, cleanse, make bright, test, prove. Purge, to cleanse, make shining, test, basically to destroy, to get rid of. They will come back through regeneration, reincarnation, all right, via reproduction from those that make it, which is the 144,000 and the 1/3 men, women, and children. So what we call them, nutsack Israelites. You don't want to be no nutsack Israelite, man. That's not the lot that you want to be in. How will you end up being that? By doing what these brothers are doing. By going against the order that has been set up. All right? Going against the elders that have been set up. So you want to go against Elder Yasharahla. You want to go against Elder Manatazakbach. Well, guess what? Elder Apostle Gabar did a lesson on it as well. And he verified those men. Okay? So I guess you going against the elders. You going against the highest elders too. Okay? So you better check yourself, man. To these guys. Check your damn self. Alright? Let me go find it real quick. This guy. That's why I posted it on my story. We learned these scriptures to apply them to ourselves. He took the scriptures, the precepts, and twisted them. Manipulated precepts. Any brother can do, a pastor can do that. You took, cursed be the man you took Jeremiah 48 and 10. He said, "Curse be he that doeth the work of Yahawah deceitfully, and cursed be he that keepeth back his sword from blood." He took that. He also took shutting off a brother from the kingdom. Let's get that. Saying that Elder Manasseh Zakbak was shutting the doors off. Matthew 23 and 13. "But woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you shut up the kingdom of heaven against men, for you neither go in yourself, neither suffer ye them that are entering to go in." All right? Failing to understand the whole situation. Okay? Saying that the elder was doing that. All right? And we get a little bit of it. Go to the top. Hey, let's get it. "Then spake Yahawashi to the multitude and to his disciples, saying, The scribes and the Pharisees sit in Moses' seat. All therefore whatsoever they bid you observe, that observe and do. But do not ye after their works, for they say and do not." Everything we see the elders doing and they tell us to do, they do. Preaching, teaching, hitting the corners, hitting the highways and byways, dealing with scoffers and mockers. All right? Dealing with the comment board. You see Elder Manasseh Zakbak doing comment board responses. And you saying he's shutting off the kingdom to some. How? Explain that to me. How is he shutting off the kingdom when he's going to the comment board, he's reading the comments, and he's addressing certain questions and addressing certain points in the comment board? He's giving edification on misunderstanding from people that are misled. He's actually edifying. He's not shutting off the kingdom to anybody. All right? You want to learn, you want to come in person, you can learn from the video. All right? Certain brothers are in secluded places. They don't have the means to get to a place, etc., etc. So they can only learn from the unicorn. That's why the unicorn, which is the internet, does the heavy lifting. It makes a way and an opportunity for repentance and edification to go forth in the whole planet, man. All right? So ain't nobody ever shutting off the kingdom to anybody. But you take, after 2 admonitions, a brother is a heretic, and us rejecting a brother and kicking a brother off because he has a wicked demon on him. He doesn't want to listen. He wants to teach, and he wants to be a scoffer, and he wants to debate. You take us kicking that brother to the curb as shutting off the kingdom? No, you can't teach somebody that doesn't want to be taught. This is going back to the point of you brothers not having good common sense. Okay? Verse 3, "All therefore whatsoever they bid you, observe that do, and do, but do not ye after their works, for they say and do not." Because they don't practice what they preach, is what we saying. But our elders practice what they preach. Okay? "For they bind heavy burdens and grievous to be borne, and lay them on men's shoulders, but they themselves will not move them with one of their fingers." Look at Peggy Sue, right? Mojo Jojo, I call him. He practiced the laws, commandments, and statutes, right? But he's behind the scenes getting pegged, getting poked by his woman, by his female, right? So that's going against the sexual laws, the morality laws. Okay, so did he practice what he preached? Hell no. All right? This dude is involved in gang banging and things of that nature, messing with harlots, and that's his friends. He's given, as the scriptures say, don't deal with a light woman, but you're dealing with harlots, women that are light, women that don't have it all. You're supposed to be a bishop. You're supposed to be, not a brawler. You don't supposed to be dealing with the sword, but you show up to camps with a pew out and gang members out, right? But is that practicing what you preach? No, don't you preach certain scriptures, but you go against everything that you preach, right? You a merchandiser, but you preach the word, but you merchandise this truth. You sell the word, you sell merchandise, right? So that's a perfect example, okay? IUIC, another example of these guys preaching something, but they don't practice it. These are the people you should be aware of, all right? Once again, anything the elders of Great Millstone have preached, they show and they practice it. You've never seen a video of the elders begging or asking for money, begging or asking for anybody to send anything to the Cash App. All right, an elder over there in Chicago, Alliance of the 12, can attest to this. Okay, that when the elders did need something, the elders found out about it and they sent the elders money. The elders didn't have to ask. They didn't have to beg. They're not going up on no damn video and be like, hey, can all you brothers send me $10, $20? No. Okay? As the brother Kawawa said, ISUPK, IUIC, ICJC, etc. These camps do not practice what they preach. They don't come in the right manner. And these little wicked but hurt groups are doing the same exact thing. All right? So you are being sifted. And for you brothers that, because I know some of them brothers do watch me. For you brothers that are going to watch this video, you need to start examining yourself and be like, hey, is these brothers right, or these brothers actually got a vendetta against the elders? When you learned everything from the elders, but now you want to buck up against the elders and go against the elders. Okay? So you're going against the hand that fed you. You don't ever do that. All right? So keeping it going a little bit more over here. And then we're going to get back to 1 Corinthians, the 12th chapter, and we're going to wrap it up because I feel like we done hit the point 100 times. All right? For they bind heavy burdens and grievous to be borne and lay them on men's shoulders, but they themselves will not move them with one of their fingers. They tell brothers to do this and to do that, but they're not going to do it at all. All right? Oh, perfect example. Bishop Nathaniel told those men to go out in the streets of Kenya, right? And he wasn't out there with them. That was a heavy burden. You told them to go out there and they got their ass beat. They got tear gas thrown at them, etc., but you wasn't out there with them. All right? Hey, Elder Apostle Tahar tells us a video. He told us the beginning of this year, a video every day, right? And I've done my best to try to keep that order. I've done my best to try to do that. Because what does he do? 2 or 3 videos every day. I see it. I see it. You can't deny that. So if he tells us to do something, he's doing double that. All right? Hitting the corners, highways and byways every weekend. Okay? Don't miss it. Don't miss it. And if you do miss it, make it up. You couldn't make it on Saturday. You couldn't make it on Sunday. Make it up on Monday. Make it up on Tuesday. Me, brothers know I work second shift, right? So I don't never see my wife damn near all week. You know, so but the only time I got to spend with my family like that is Saturday and Sunday. So, you know, I took it upon myself to start going out on Monday. All right? Just that's because of my schedule, right? So you have to make it up. You have to make time. But I make sure I still put in these lessons every single day because that's the example that has been shown to me. That's the proper example. That's the correct example. You have good leaders and you have bad leaders. You have good elders and you have bad elders. We over here, Great Millstone and affiliates, we have the best elders on this planet. The proper order. These are those men back in the flesh, man. All right? These are those men that have led us before, our forefathers. Men such as Joshua. Men such as Ezekiel. Men such as Isaiah. We don't know who brothers are, and we're not going to make that, you know, that notion to say that this brother is whoever that is, because that doesn't matter at this point in time. All right? But we know that those prophets are back. All right? Exactly. I'll double honors to the men that came before us. Right? You can't play in the NBA and not give honors to the ones that came before you. I was watching a little TikTok clip last night of Anthony Edwards. I like the brother's game. I like how he play. He walked up to Gary Payton and he like saluted him and gave him his props. You know, because Gary Payton was a dog, man. He was a great player. So that brother respects the ones that came before him in the league. That's how we supposed to be. We supposed to respect the men that came before us. But you got these butt hurt camps, these guys that have separated away from Great Millstone, and you join together with one another. That's how we know you guys is wicked. Cause why the fuck this dude, servants of the throne, you all the way out here in Philly, but you joining up with London Seer, who's all the way over in the UK, and y'all talking about the same man. Come on, bro. Y'all think we stupid? Y'all brothers are hand in hand joining together, man. All right? Yeah. Gary Payton was cold. He was cold. You know? All right? So let's get a little bit more of this, man. Let's wrap it up. All right? Verse 5. But all their works they do for to be seen of men, they make broad their phylacteries and enlarge the borders of their garments. And hey, if I had enough time, I would pull up Nate on a horse. Brothers know what I'm talking about. When Bishop Nathaniel rode in on a horse, goofy, all right, and loved the uppermost rooms at feasts and the chief seats in the synagogues and greetings in the markets, and to be called of men, Master, Master, Rabbi, Rabbi, Teacher, Teacher. But be not ye called Rabbi, for one is your Master, even Hamashiach. And all ye are brethren, and call no man your father upon the earth, for one is your Father which is in heaven. Neither be ye called masters, for one is your Master, even Hamashiach. But he that is greatest among you shall be your servant. But whosoever shall exalt himself shall be abased, and he that shall humble himself shall be exalted. So what these Pharisees taught was the opposite. All right? We are in this captivity to be humbled, to be meek. As the scriptures say, the more knowledge, the more understanding you get, the lower to the earth you should be. Loosely quoting, if a brother know what I'm talking about, that's I believe in Sirach. All right, the greater you become, the lower you should be, basically. All right, so you got to maintain that spirit of being down to earth. That keeps you and prevents you from being high-minded. That keeps you and prevents you from being lifted up in pride, lifted up in knowledge. Yeah, we learn a lot. We grow and we learn a lot. But guess what? It's all through the spirit and power of Yahawah Shem Yahawashi. Okay? At the end of the day, I was on YouTube last night watching certain things, and Yahawah revealed it to me. He led me to those channels. He led me to this place. He led me to study this. He led me to watch this. He led me to stumble upon this. Okay? Hey, the water, Sirach 3:18. So it ain't we don't have no respect of persons, and we're not deeming, ourselves greater. But we do give double honors, because just how we said with the Gary Payton analogy thing, that these men have came before us and they have labored. So therefore, give these men the honor that they deserve. Okay, 1 second, I have to charge my phone. All right, this is Sirach 3:18. The greater thou art, the more humble thyself, and thou shalt find favor before Yahawah. The greater thou art, the more humble thyself, and thou shalt find favor before Yahawah. So the greater you become, the more you learn, the more you grow. Yeah, as brothers grow, you're going to begin to get sheep up under you. Brothers are going to come under you and listen to you, right? That's going to happen. But don't allow that to change your mindset. Don't allow that to lift you up, all right? Teach them the same way that you got taught, okay? Put them on that quest. Give them homework. I remember, man, Shalawam to my brother over in GMS Wisconsin camp. When I first came into this thing, he told me, hey, read this, read that, go into this. He used to get on me. He's like, you ain't doing enough lessons. You need to do more lessons. He was there to help me and to guide me and to lift me up and to encourage me and to push me, right? And I needed that, man, to correct me, to check me, right? And that's what I needed, So I do the same thing to brothers that come up under me and listen to me, etc., etc. And I check brothers on things. Not overruling, not overbearing, give a brother a leash. We not here to rule over you or none of that, bro. You know, because you got to be a man and you got to do your thing. You got to make mistakes and you got to grow and you got to learn how to do this thing on your own as well. Yahawashi got to sup with you. Let's get that. This is Revelations 3:20. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come into him and will sup with him, and he with me. So that's the position eventually. And that means that you're becoming an apostle, you're becoming an evangelist, you're becoming a bishop. You're no longer a disciple. All right? You're growing. You're leaving that position of milk. You're growing into a higher standard. And that does not happen in the first year or the second year or the third year. Okay? Maybe not even the fourth year or the fifth year, depending on your measure of faith. Okay? So you gotta, you have to grow. We have to grow. You know? And I keep that mindset. That's why I'm very careful not to get caught up in entertainment. All right? Going into other lives and going back and forth with these dumbass Christians and some of these dumbass Israelites, man. You know, the entertainment. Even though we got a zeal and we want to cut them up. But, you know, fuck them. We got to feed our sheep. Proverbs 3:12. For whom Yahawah loveth, he correcteth, even as a father, the son in whom he delighteth. All right, exactly. You know, so, you know, any correction that I've ever received, that was Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi. When the elders out here rebuked me and checked me, that was Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi. Did I hold a grudge? No. I went back to camp. Those brothers received me like a brother. Brothers do not hold grudges, man. Brothers are real. Brothers will receive you back in. If you come in correct, if you come in the right way, brothers truly love one another, man. And that's what you don't got in that Christian ass community. These Christians, you go to church, they all looking at you and talking about you behind their back. But we brothers are realistic. We understand we mess up. We was in that position. We was over righteous at one point in time. We was handling things incorrectly. We as men admit our mistakes. We are accountable. That's what the truth gives to us. So you always got to look at a brother in the situation that he's in and remember when you was in that situation. Remember when you was doing this and when you was doing that. That's part of examining yourself and growing. Because we have to grow as leaders and grow as men in general, man. We are going to be what? Kings and priests, according to Revelations 1:6. We're going to be kings and priests. We're not going to be in the kingdom still bickering with one another. According to Jeremiah 31:31, man. All right? We won't have to teach one another. We won't be fighting one another. That will never happen in the kingdom. This body is unified. All right? And if you're not unified in this body, you're going to come back as a child. You're going to be a nutsack Israelite, and you're going to have to go through that stage again as a baby, pooping and shitting on yourself, you know, and growing up and learning about what you did in the old world, in the old kingdom. This is Matthew 18. And after this, we're going to get back to 1 Corinthians 12 chapter, and we're going to wrap it up. Matthew 18:21-22. Coming from the brother Nakaf. Then came Peter to him and said, Lord, how often shall my brother sin against me, and I forgive him? Till 7 times? Yahawashi said unto him, I say not until 7 times, but until 70 times 7. Therefore is the kingdom of heaven likened unto a certain king, which would take account of his servants. And when he had begun to reckon, one was brought unto him which owed him 10,000 talents. For as much as he had not to pay, his Lord commanded him to be sold, and his wife and children, and all that he had, and payment to be made. The servant therefore fell down and worshipped him, saying, Lord, have patience with me, and I will pay thee all. Then the Lord of that servant was moved with compassion, and loosened him and forgave him the debt. I wanted to read that because in wrath, remember mercy. Remember compassion. Was we showed compassion? Most definitely. most definitely we would show compassion, man. Exactly. So that's the perfect precept that the brother Nakaf posted. We have been forgiven 70 times 7. We have been forgiven multiple times, man. If we wasn't showed mercy, we would all be unalived. It wouldn't be no damn TikTok. It wouldn't be no brothers on here teaching right now. All of us would be unalived because in the world, we did wicked things that was demon of unalived, man. I remember I took a dude's girl before. And I'm not proud of it. But I should be unalive for that. All right? I should be unalive for that whole situation in the world. Right? I was like, what? I was like 20, 24. I was young buck. Moving around, not giving a fuck. Right? You know? So I should be unalive for that situation. But Yahawashi gave me mercy. And he brought me into this thing. We all have situations like that we are not proud of. You know? Let's get that. Habakkuk 3:3 from the brother Kakama. Power came from Taman, and the Holy One from Mount Paran, Salah. His glory covereth the heavens, and the earth was full of his praise. Khan, that's the one you wanted out? Just checking. Oh, you brought verse 2. I got you. All right. O Yahawah, I have heard thy speech and was afraid. O Yahawah, revive thy work in the midst of the years. In the midst of the years, make known. In wrath, remember mercy. So as our Heavenly Father has mercy upon us, in wrath, right? To the same way. And is Yahawashi the same way? He was made in a splitting image, the same likeness, the same ways. Yahawashi shows the same ways. He had mercy upon us. All right? So therefore, we, like I say, we some little Pauls, we some little Yahawashis down here. The servant is not greater than the master. We are walking in that same type of lot, that same type of position. We have to suffer. We have to go through it. We have to be persecuted. All right? So we got to remember mercy. Oh, perfect scripture. Let's get that. Trespasses. Forgive your brother of his trespasses. This is Matthew 11:25. And when you stand praying, forgive if ye ought against any, that your Father also which is in heaven may forgive you your trespasses. But if you do not forgive, neither will your Father which is in heaven forgive your trespasses. Okay? So the brother, London Seer, jumping back to the whole situation. You felt in yourself to strike another man. You should have forgave that man. All right? You should never act in a carnal way. Okay? If the situation, was off or whatever it may be. All right? We always got to think before we just act in actions. We always got to think, before we jump into a situation. Because I seen brothers in the world, just act and not think. And I know a certain brother, man, one of my cousins. He had a pew with him, and he got in an argument with a dude at a club, and he ended up shooting. He ended up pewing the dude 25 times, man. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't think. He just acted, and that's an NIGGA type of way of moving, So, and what does that happen? That happens when you don't have the scriptures, when you don't have understanding, you don't have wisdom. You're more caught up on your carnal material possessions than actually what's ahead. You're not putting your affections above, but you're putting your affections on things that's on the earth, on titles and status and what people think about you and things of that nature. All right? I get them for you. Matthew 6:12. And then we're going to get back to 1 Corinthians, 12th chapter, and wrap it up. And forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And jumping down to 15, but if you forgive not men their trespasses, neither will your Father forgive your trespasses. So you got to, or you're really cutting off the kingdom from yourself. You can't enter into the chariot bitter, bro. Y'all think y'all about to enter into the chariot holding a grudge against the elders of Great Millstone? That's not going to happen. Okay? That's not going to happen. All right? And we not saying only great millstone will go into the chariots. No, nobody is saying that. The elder himself said that in the video. We understand that. It's other brothers teaching. I taught that yesterday, Luke 9:49. Okay? It's other men that are casting out demons through the name of Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi that are not a part of the camp. All right? As a matter of fact, let's get it again just because. This is Luke 9:49. And John answered and said, Master, we saw one casting out devils in thy name, and we forbade him because he followeth not with us. And Yahawashi said unto him, Forbid him not, for he that is not against us is for us. Right? Exactly, Kakama. Just do the work. Stop worrying about phylacteries. Stop worrying about titles. Stop worrying about all that other stuff, man. Do the work. If you are aligned with the brothers, then you are aligned with the brothers. Therefore, that will be more of a validation. All right? Because it's been times where my spirit, I would do a lesson on something, and then I would see Elder Apostle Tahar, Elder Apostle Gabar, or another brother do the same exact type of lesson, and that validated me in the spirit, that I'm in the right mindset, that I'm talking about the right type of information. I'm on the right path. Because the spirit joins us together. Okay? It's not about titles. It's not about none of that. All right? Some brothers in Great Millstone get kicked out. You understand that? For you brothers that are worshiping titles, understand that. All right? Everybody in those camps are not going to make it. Not saying brothers in the camp, every brother in the camp is wicked. No. Hell no. Okay? Because it is a proven status. It is a proven situation. But some brothers are found out to be demons. All right. This is Job 32:21. Let me not, I pray you, accept any man's person, neither let me give flattering titles unto man. For I know not to give flattering titles, in so doing my maker would soon take me away. And going back to my last point, London Seer, you was a part of Great Millstone, right? But you got kicked out, and look at how you're acting. Okay? The Yakal guy, you know, was a part of Great Millstone, San Francisco, right? These guys, they was a part, but they eventually got separated. Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi does sifting. He does separation. He breaks apart. Amawan used to be with us, used to teach, but he broke him apart. Okay? Who else, man? You know, I used to dwell and try to help those brothers, Prince the Israelite and all those brothers. But the spirit broke us apart. I was trying to help those brothers. But I found it in the spirit that these brothers ain't going to get it. These brothers ain't going to get it. Now they have a bitter type of spirit that goes back to the title. But hurt groups. That dude, No Better 7. He has a but hurt type of spirit towards me and towards certain brothers. ISUPK, they have a butt hurt type of spirit, right? That's going back to bitterness. You do not supposed to be bitter, and that's going back to more so holding a grudge. You do not want to be bitter in this truth. All right? That's a woman trait. Colossians 3:19. Husbands, love your wives and be not bitter against them. All right? That's you know, woman, and it's a man and a woman trait, but more so it's found commonly in women for them to be bitter and to hold a grudge. All right? Men don't operate like that. We're not being bitter. We're not thinking about it too damn long. Like, you just sitting over here dwelling on it. No, I'm not doing that, bro. That's wasting my time. It creates stress. It creates an annoyance. And it's actually going back to a presumptuous sin. All right, I'm going to get this. And then we going back to 1 Corinthians, the 12th chapter, and we're going to wrap it up. All right, this is Psalms 19:13. Keep back thy servant also from presumptuous sins. Let them not have dominion over me. Then shall I be upright, and I shall be innocent from the great transgression. When you have presumptuousness dwelling in you, you can't judge properly. You can't see clearly because you already have it in your mindset that this brother is wicked. I don't care what he says. I don't care what he does. No, he's already wicked. I know he's wicked. I don't give a fuck. That's what you got in your mindset. All right? How can you judge properly and correctly? Yahawashi in Isaiah 11 chapter, he was given the proper spirit, a quickening spirit, to be able to judge righteously, not to have a presumptuous thoughts. This is why he didn't take every Pharisee as wicked. He actually talked to Nicodemus. Nicodemus was not a wicked Pharisee. Paul was not a wicked Pharisee. Now, Paul was doing some wicked shit, but he was ordained. So Yahawashi dealt with him, right? Let's get the definition of presumptuousness real quick. And then we're going to get back to, what's the name? 1 Corinthians 12 chapter, and we're going to end it. All right? Presumptuousness of a person or their behavior failing to observe the limits of what is permitted. No, that's not it. That's not it. All right. Right here. Someone who is presumptuous is excessively bold or forward, often to the point of being rude or arrogant. It means they take liberties and assume things without proper justification or consideration, often showing a lack of respect for others' boundaries. So those assumptions, those predetermined thoughts are destroying you. And that goes into bitterness and grudges. That's how it's determined, man. All right. So we're going to end it over in 1 Corinthians, the 12th chapter. All right. And where was we at? We could start at 7. We done read pretty much all the top. But the manifestation of the Spirit is given to every man to profit withal. For to one is given by the Spirit the word of wisdom, to another the word of knowledge by the same Spirit, to another faith by the same Spirit, to another the gifts of healing by the same Spirit. What are these? These are different offices. These are different positions. To another the working of miracles, to another prophecy, to another discerning of spirits, to another diverse kinds of tongues. Some brothers are very gifted in the Hebrew. Okay, some brothers are gifted in knowing the times, how to judge a new moon, how to keep the feast days, things of that nature. To another, the interpretation of tongues. But all of these worketh that one and the selfsame Spirit, dividing to every man severally as he will. For as the body in one is one, and have many members, many offices, and all the members of that one body, being many, are one body, so also is Hamashiach. For by one Spirit are we all baptized into one body, whether we be Jews or Gentiles. All right? Israelites that came up knowing they were Israelites, or Israelites that came up in different countries, okay, believing they were Romans, Corinthians, Philippians, Ephesians, etc., etc. They are still Israelites via blood, but they came up in other practices. All right. Today, all of us will be Gentiles, except like my daughter. She would actually be a Jew, because ever since she's born, this is all she's known. All right. The proper way, and that's all she's going to know. The proper way. Enter into the kingdom. She's going to know that. Right? But me, came up a Gentile, came up under, wicked ass Jesus Christ. A Protestant. Hold up, man. Yo, what's going on? Get her. All right, Salaki. So none of us, most of us are Gentiles, all right, except our kids. And that's the beautiful thing, all right? And, that's showing that this truth is back, man. The customs and the cultures is back. And our kids actually get to enjoy that. They get a better life. They don't have to eat pork, lobster, crab, shrimp. They're not going to go through those type of situations, those type of sins that we committed unknowingly, because our forefathers, our people before us didn't really study. They just did what Esau told them. So our kids have a better chance at salvation, and we know we about to leave this place regardless, man. You know. So again, a little bit more of this. For by one Spirit are we all baptized into one body, whether we be Jews or Gentiles, whether we be bond or free, and have been all made to drink into one Spirit, the Rakakadash. Okay? Now, everybody ain't baptized in that same Spirit, as you can see, because some brothers act differently. Some people have different names. Yahweh, Yeshua, Most High, Christ, bless. Is that the same Spirit as Yahawah, Yahawashi? Hell no. Those men are not baptized in the same Spirit. Okay? If you call on Most High Christ blessed, then you're not going into a chariot. All right? Unless you repent and convert and call on the correct name. Okay? At the end of the day, you have to get the correct name, the proper name, the correct doctrine. For the body is not one member, but many. So it's not about one brother. It's not about there's one brother in this region or one brother in this region, but many. Look at hey, brothers watch the Power Rangers when you was kids, right? You remember they used to get their ass beat, but then when they morphed and they turned into the big giant robot thing, oh, it was over then. I used to love that part when I was a kid, cause I knew, hey, they was about to kick butt. You know what I'm saying? So that's how we are right now. We used to, hey, we by ourselves. But then, boom, we morphing and we turning into that big robot thing now. All right? And now Esau is scared. He's terrified. According to Revelations, the 11th chapter. He is very scared because we are now unified. All right? And now, hey, man, that's pretty much it. I'll wrap it up there right there. I'll put this. Go back to this video. Brothers should watch this video.
Rectify order.
That Elder Yasharahla did. Alright, ex-members forming alliances and offense and not spirit. Okay? Ex-members forming alliances and offense and not spirit. Okay? You're joining together because you are butthurt. You're not joining together via the right spirit. Alright? At the end of the day, man. So I hope that was edifying. I'll give a minute for any questions or anything that any brothers have, and then we'll wrap it up. All right, so any questions, anything that any brothers or sisters have, you know, anything. Nobody got anything. Kakuma, I promise, bro, if it's Jew or Greek, I'm going to take your moderator privileges away. And hey, try me. Go ahead, Kakuma. What's your question, man? What's your question? Because I just broke down Jew or Greek. You can't answer it now. You can't ask it because I just broke it down. Okay, Galatians 3rd chapter. You can't even go that route because I just said it. Oh, man. All right, so ain't no questions. Brothers is good. You know, summarizing, don't, these guys, man, these guys are butthurt. All right? And they gonna stay butthurt. That's how they feel. You know? Let them be that way. They don't want to be amongst the body. Let them be that way. They want to talk shit. They want to make videos. They want to rebuke elders that's doing what they supposed to do. All right? Some of these guys are just like, man, I was looking at that New Jerusalem guy and like he had a dude in his comment that was just talking. And I checked the dude page. Dude ain't even got no videos like that. Okay? It was a Yasharahla dude. You know, like a lot of these dudes, y'all don't got the spirit. Y'all not on fire in the spirit. Y'all just over there butthurt and talking. And you putting more energy into hating brothers than actually fighting Esau, man. Right? That's not it. You know, y'all brothers are distracted. That's Satan destroying y'all and sifting y'all and breaking y'all down. All right? Don't have that bitter grudge type spirit amongst your brothers, especially brothers that are week in, week out producing lessons, videos correctly and properly, man. Just because you don't understand how a matter should be handled in order. That's not your position, right? So, hey, no questions. So let's turn to the east, face Jerusalem. All praises be to Yahawah, by Sham, Yahawashi, by Shem, Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of the great millstone, which rule well and teach well and sincerity taught us this truth. Shalawam to the Lord's hopeful elect, 144,000 men, as well as 1/3 men, women, and children, maintaining themselves, keeping the laws, commandments, and statutes to the best of their ability. Hey, shalawam, shalawam to all the sisters that's in the background listening in silence as you supposed to do. Shalawam. Shalawam to you brothers, every brother that supported the lesson, dropping precepts, inputs, etc., etc. All right, beloved brethren, Akyam, Thawada, Kwam Yasharahla, rise Israel always, and Ababa ball to this wicked kingdom. May this bitch fall soon, man. Shalawam.